Our theme this month is play, and I love this theme as we celebrate bridging because the children and youth at South Church have taught me a lot about play. Today, I'd like to share a little about what they have taught me with all of you. Young people are good at playing. Not only are they good at it, they seek it out. Of course, every young person is different, and it's easy to paint a false picture when you talk about children and youth. They are not a singular community who all connect with church and with one another in the same way. Just like with adults, within that umbrella of youth and children, we are a community of many communities. That said, play can take many forms, and I do believe it is a fair generalization to say that play is a central practice in childhood and in adolescence. Prior to the COVID pandemic, people in Portsmouth who found themselves walking down the sidewalks of State Street on a Friday night might have heard loud screams and laughter from inside our church as middle school or high school kids squealed through the sanctuary, chasing each other in the dark. If you think back on holiday parties, there's almost always a room scattered with board games and stickers and goofy costumes. This past year, as we all navigated social distancing and struggled with isolation, many of our kids showed up to our invitations to meet at parks, in the woods, in backyards, masks on, hungry to play with one another. Play is poured into the experiences of this church for our children as it is in their lives more broadly. And as they grow, play lives in the language they share with one another. Cemented in my mind is a scene of our high school youth, many of whom are bridging today, in San Diego, playing sardines, a version of hide and seek, in this crazy Airbnb we rented. I can picture another group of youth throwing frisbees in a parking lot in West Virginia. I have hundreds of images in my mind of kids playing cards on hotel floors, in vans, at restaurant tables. There was a 3-hour slow motion photo session in Alabama where several youth took running jumps onto a queen bed while others filmed, seeking to capture the funniest in-motion facial expressions and body postures. They were rolling on the floor laughing at the footage as they played it back. The actors in those short clips allowing themselves to be the source of hysterical jokes, flopping cheeks, awkward contortions offered as a gift to their peers and celebrated with applause that you might hear at a gymnastics meet. I've learned over these past many years that there is a lot going on when people play. The kids have taught me that. I have watched our young people use play as a tool for processing hard things. They use it to release stress, and they use it to connect deeply with other people. Those memories of play that I just shared with you are pulled out of context, but the context is relevant. Our children and youth do hard work at this church and in their lives. They put time into thinking about the world we are living in. They examine our culture and consider the ways human beings love one another and the ways we harm one another. They strategize with us about how to affect change in themselves and in others. They work at building spiritual practices. They participate in rituals. They often choose to be vulnerable. They choose it, and to practice trust with our community. I'm not sure that there is any harder work in life than that, or anything more important. Right now, as much as any time before, the brokenness of the world is so clear. We need to be raising generations that know better than we do how to live in community with others, how to question one's own assumptions, how to care for ourselves and how to care for others. And play serves as a powerful incentive as well as powerful medicine in that work. Month after month, year after year, so that by high school, these hodgepodge groups of young people can step into truly challenging spaces and they are able to provide one another with much needed release from the heavy work before them. As adults, we have a lot we can learn or relearn from watching the young ones around us. One of the most incredible things about a church community is the fact that we collectively span 9 or 10 decades. There are very few other places that offer the opportunities we have here to learn across ages. Where else outside of your own family, perhaps, are you afforded the chance to watch a child grow from birth into adulthood? What other places are children able to connect with adults, the same adults, year after year, through storytelling, service work, potlucks, music, ritual, learning, and travel? Ask any of the kids who have spent time in the nursery of this church over the past decade about Barney Hoop, and they will smile a deep smile of recognition and joy. I don't know if he's listening today, but he knows about the power of play and the magic of church community. Here, we are afforded opportunities to know people who are living through different life stages than our own, and that is an incredible gift. It benefits all of us. Every year, as I prepare a bridging homily and I think about the young adults who are heading out into the world, I am humbled by the power of relationship. Riley, Jax, Marin, Grace, Shane, Sophie B, Caroline, Iris, Abby, Sophie C. Thank you for making time in your lives for this community. Thank you for the things you've taught us. Don't underestimate what you have been given by this faith and these people, or what is yet to be received. Keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. You are loved.